Greetings, Elder Blacklight. We starting off early in the morning. We was up all night, and we know that the enemy of the original man is working around the clock, and so we got to try to keep up. Now, we're going to get into the supreme wisdom lessons later on, but first we want to profile ourselves and especially our enemy. Now, a picture says 1,000 words. That's a picture of the Muhammad Speaks. Two brothers, two hands across the globe, indicating that we must be brothers all over the planet. Our unity will defeat our enemy, especially if we are righteous and a common cause. We'll always give our enemy a hard time. We all got to be on the same page. So we're going to go over to Dr. Mumbai over there in Africa. Hope she don't mind me inviting her on my platform. I think that we are going in the same direction as far as waking up our people. Name of her show is Wake Up Africa. And there's Africans all over the planet. We call ourselves the Asiatic black men, but we are also Africans. We are also Brazilians. We are also even Europeans. We everywhere because we are the original. We're going to profile those that run this planet, and those that may be responsible for the coronavirus, because they want population control and they want to depopulate the planet. So let's take a look at it.
The flag of Washington's District of Columbia has 3 red stars, one for each city-state in the 3-city empire. This corporate empire of 3 city-states controls the world economically through London's inner city, militarily through the District of Columbia, and spiritually through the Vatican. The Constitution for the District of Columbia operates under a tyrannical Roman law known as Lex Fori, which bears no resemblance to the U.S. Constitution.
So this is the great technology, or the great illusion, the great psychology that is being played all across the planet. Right now, they got the coronavirus. Here, spiritually centered, the Vatican has shut down. They closed the doors. And the USA, Uncle Sam got his hands full. But the whole planet is not thinking about nothing. They're not thinking about trading. They're not thinking about nothing but this coronavirus. Now at the top of the pyramid, you got the economics. Now the stock market is going to take a hit. People are going to stop working. The currency is not going to flow. We don't know if they planned it this way or not. But they can lose control of it. Now they say they don't have a vaccine for it. But I believe they do.
Made their way there, further condensing them. This heightened the proximity of an already cramped population. In the experiments with the powdered food, this effect was far less pronounced. With these factors combined, Calhoun noted what he called a behavioral sink, or an increase in pathological activity in the rats due to the stress involved in such high population density. For the females, the behavioral sink manifested in reduced capacity for nest building and young rearing. Infant rats are extremely dependent upon their mothers for nearly all things. However, under the effects of the behavioral sink, the mothers would often be interrupted in their nest building practices to engage in some other social activity. As time wore on, this led to sparser nests which could not house the young properly. If a mother decided to move her litter, she often would only move some of them or scatter them about the pen in separate locations. What's more, when female rats are ready to mate, the males can sense it, and the enclosed space meant that a female could not escape the continuous advances of the males during these periods. Even when they would enter their nests for a reprieve, they would be followed in and harrowed. These factors together resulted in an extremely high infant mortality rate, in one case reaching 96%. For the males, this manifested in different ways. The dominant males would occasionally lash out in violence against the other members of the pen, including infants, often biting and wounding their tails. Among the lower class males were three groups. The first he described as the homosexuals, which he immediately corrects as pansexuals, who would not compete for status, but would often attempt to mate with any other rat, regardless of gender or age.
Now this is an experiment done by this guy named Calhoun, and this project is being implemented today, and the building of cities, the way the architecture constructs buildings, the height, and it is condensed, and they try to condense the population in these cities. It comes from these experiments, and these rat cities, they use this model in jails. You know, the study of this rat city transfers over to humans. And so now, how does the coronavirus and what's happening today fit in? It's population, all about population control. Now they're having the 2020 census coming out. Right now they're having the political conventions and voting going on, and the population is being endangered by this coronavirus. At the same time, the stock market is falling. If you put two and two together, you are profiling those that are controlling all of this as anti-nature or the Antichrist, you know, or against nature. And that lets you know if they're against nature, they're against the original inhabitants of the planet that is a part of nature, a part of the planet Earth, and that's the black man. Now I got the Rat City on some of my videos. I'm going to finish up on it, you know, a little down the line, but I got to bring these certain points across to you and let you study up on them, because you need to know who your enemy is and what's on his agenda. The reason why things happen. Things don't happen for no reason. And the paper Muhammad Speaks was was the paper of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they cut this paper out. Farrakhan cut this paper out and started with the final call. Now we're not going to answer the question that I'm fixing to present is, why did he do it? Why did he this a positive picture, you know, some artists that was in the circle that hooked this paper up of us befriending our brothers all over the planet. Now you got brothers like the Hebrew Israelite talking about Africa. You got a whole lot of brothers that don't recognize their brotherhood with these brothers. And we'll go into that later on. But I just wanted to, before we get started on the lessons, to put this on you, because all of it is going to be relating at the end or later on down the line, because this might not never end. This is Black Light saying sugar and sugar, salt and salt. Study this up.